Welcome to the Power Max Mini Challenge and to Brands Hatch, where we're going to have 2 races from the F56 and JCW cars. We'll also be heading over to Northamptonshire, where we'll have some Cooper class action for you from Rockingham. Here at Brands Hatch, we'll be racing on the iconic GP circuit, which is one of the favourites amongst drivers. They were on track yesterday, so let's find out what they thought.
Yeah, it's an absolute cracker. It's famous, it's quick, it's some big kahunas corners. It's an amazing circuit.
Brands Hatch is my local circuit, and yeah, to be able to drive the GP loop, it's so flowing, and you know, you get some really great speed down the back, and yeah, definitely personally my favourite circuit on the calendar.
Lots of elevation and paddock hill. That's how you can sum up Brands Hatch for, and a fantastic experience to drive. And really ironic, you know, a lot of big names race here, and it's an honour to race on it. And door to door with other competitors makes it more exciting.
Won here last year when I came back for the first time after my operation, so always love the track, mega fast. Absolutely ballsy at the back, we've got to be on flat out, that's where the time's made. And again, come back this year and absolutely love it.
To get out on the GP loop it's an experience you really got to take it whenever you can. It's fantastic.
It is amazing, fast. You've got to be really brave, that's for sure. And the corners have got such good heritage, and going out into the trees, it is just a phenomenal looking circuit and really good fun to drive.
But the GP circuit is just something else. It's probably one of the best circuits I've ever raced on, and the racing is just epic.
In the new Mini Challenge car is great. It's very fast flowing out on the GP loop. They carry a lot of speed through the blind corners there. So no, it is good fun. It's very fast, and yeah, it's good close racing out there as well.
Well, the first race of the weekend was, as ever, very close and competitive. In the F56 class, Lee Patterson won it from Rob Smith and William Phillips. Then Ryan Rode and David Grady completed the top 5. Amongst the JCW runners, victorious was John O'Brown, clear of Neil Newstead and Henry Dupree, Hamish Brandon and Urka Lindstead, then rounding out the top 5.
Really nice to see John O'Brown and Henry Dupree up front for the JCWs. Let's find out who's on pole for the F56s and get the full grid from Ben.
Thanks very much, Michelle, as the glamour builds on the grid, as we'll have a look how they're up in full for this race around the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. William Phillips and David Grady head the F56 runners, clear of Ryan Rode and Luke Cordell. Then it's Lee Patterson and Rob Smith from Charlie Butler Henderson and Lawrence Davey. Amongst JCW runners, as we heard from Michelle, it's Henry Dupree and John O'Brown, then Neil Newstead and Hamish Brandon from Jason Jeffries and Urka Lindstead. Perfect weather to enjoy an ice cream and some very, very close action from the Power Max Mini Challenge. The red lights go out now, and away we go. It's a good start from William Phillips. It's a very quick start from the red car of Lee Patterson as they power towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. It is going to be very congested midfielders. Ryan Rode tips the inside, and they go sideways. He tags Patterson, and Lee Patterson spins in the path of the field and tags Sam Osborne, and Osborne gets fired off into the Armco barrier. They all take evasive action, but there is debris and damaged minis all over the track. We're in car with Luke Cordell as he closes up onto the tail of William Phillips. We have got David Grady is just in front of us as well, as Phillips looks to challenge Grady as they arrive into Surtees and head out onto the Grand Prix loop for the first time. They pick up the pace and sprint on towards Pilgrim's Drop. Well, Ryan Rhodes recovered from that tag. He's there in 5th position as they plunge downhill towards Hawthorne, and it is William Phillips has got the advantage from Luke Cordell. Then we have got Rob Smith applying the pressures to David Grady with Ryan Rode next along, and just in behind them it's Charlie Butler Henderson as Ryan Rode has a moment and gets rotated towards Westfield. Well, what a lively start to this race. That's damage for Rode. He'll get back underway as they arrive into Sheen. It's William Phillips ahead of the queue, but we've got waved yellow flags and the safety car boards, perhaps not unsurprising after the way that the race got underway. So the Power Max Mini Challenge safety car awaits. That's the main reason. The stricken car of Sam Osborne, plenty of debris as well. Right, let's unpick it. In car with Ryan Rode off the start. He makes an adequate getaway, no more than that, loses a couple of places. Here comes Lee Patterson. Patterson, not fully alongside, squeezes Rode. There's nowhere really for Rode to go. They don't give each other enough racing room. Lawrence Davey gets caught up in the mix as well, and thereafter Rode has escaped. Looking at it from the outside, they all go sideways. Lee Patterson, fortunate not to be T-boned, but he tags Sam Osborne. The photographer sprints clear as Osborne clatters in to the barrier and also into the pits. That is Jono Brown, the head of the JCW class, and that is a smoking car for Brown. So unfortunately he is just about done. Well, the marshal's doing a great job as ever, and the race gets back underway. And William Phillips has made a very good getaway here. He's only got Luke Caudle with him for company as the pair of them sprint on their way towards Paddock Hill Bend. And the F56s, very new to the Power Max Mini Challenge, but have given us some fantastic racing in their short life of competition so far. As Phillips and Caudle nose to tail. Then we've got the gap to David Grady and Rob Smith down towards Graham Hill Bend as they turn along the Cooper Straight, short sprint, and then in towards Surtees around the left-hander. Waved green flags. It's the first lap, of course, after the safety car retreated. And what about the JCW class? Well, still, there we go. There is Henry Dupree to the fore of it. It's Henry Dupree running well. He's got Hamish Brandon, though, in fairly close pursuit as Rob Smith pushes David Grady along. It means that they're all coming back onto terms with William Phillips as they turn through Westfield Bend, plunge down into Dingledale, then steeply uphill towards Sheen Curve. A little bit of a gap back to the next group. Lawrence Davey in pursuit of Charlie Butler Henderson, jumping over the curbs at Sheen. They arrive into the camp of left-hander at Stirling's. Oh, and that's lovely from Davey as he forces his way to the inside of Charlie Butler Henderson, who just maintains his place. They have got Harry Volkard as well, looking to close up onto their tail. And Davey, still slightly pebble dash tyres after his lap one trip through the gravel trap, has benefited enormously from the safety car closing the field up again. The pack sprint through, and on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, Paddock Hill Bend, a very different proposition, very high speed entry as William Phillips runs wide through the gravel trap, and Luke Caudle's going to sneak through and take the advantage. And Phillips, well, just as I was saying about the high speed entry to Paddock Hill Bend, I suspect Phillips got caught out running out of road, and we're in car with Luke Caudle. Let's see what happens. Phillips on the brakes. Yeah, he takes a bite of curve, it tips the car sideways, and the instinct to correct the car fires it through the gravel trap. It was a tiny mistake, arguably disproportionately punished, as there is Ryan Rode continuing. He's just clear of Mark Stewart, turning through Druids. While William Phillips tries to reclaim the lead and elbows Luke Caudle aside, and Caudle will not be impressed about that because he loses out as well to David Grady and Rob Smith. And fond reminiscences of 2001, Luke Caudle and Lee Allen getting up to not dissimilar antics. But that was aggressive stuff from William Phillips, one would suggest. And Luke Caudle will be looking to fight back in fairly short order. It's David Grady in second place, Rob Smith in third. Here comes Lee Patterson to the inside of Henry Dupree. Dupree, of course, still the foremost JCW class runner. There's the second place car, Hamish Brandon, the fluorescent yellow wing mirrors. Patterson with all that damage incurred on that one, down on the pace that he would be wanting to display. Meanwhile, William Phillips has got this gaggle of cars in behind him as they close up on each other into Paddock Hill Bend. Rob Smith to the outside, Luke Caudle finds some space to the inside line as they climb uphill towards Druids, and Caudle tried to take David Grady. Oh, that's brilliant from Luke Caudle to the inside of David Grady. There was barely any space, but Luke Caudle made it. That was a lovely, lovely pass, ultra clean stuff as well. And that was Power Max Mini Challenge racing at its very best. So now Luke Caudle, the boot on the other foot, in pursuit of William Phillips. Oh, and a little bit sideways for Rob Smith. Smith, though, plants his right foot. One of the nice things I think about these F56s is that they would appear to have a little bit more power available to them than grip. And therefore, an educated right foot comes to the fore. This is how it all was from Luke Caudle's perspective. Looks like he's out for a Sunday morning drive, doesn't it? Very smooth, sees the gap, go on then. Really impressive stuff that from Luke Caudle. And now Caudle onto terms with William Phillips as they climb into Sheen. Phillips flicks it sideways, oh, and around he goes. And Caudle takes evasive action, but into the gravel trap for William Phillips and out of the race. Well, he got caught out earlier on with that big bite of curve at Paddock Hill Bend. That time Sheen dispatches him to the gravel trap. Sideways, sideways, sideways. Luke Caudle goes, which way do I go? He goes around William Phillips, who winds up in the gravel trap. So for Luke Caudle, he leads the way ahead of David Grady as they accelerate through. The checkered flag is ready and waiting, and it's victory at Brands Hatch in the Power Max Mini Challenge for Luke Caudle. Second place to David Grady and third to Rob Smith within the JCW class. It's going to be the win for Henry Dupree. Great drive from Dupree as he claims JCW honours. So let's have a look at the final results then, with Luke Caudle winning it from David Grady and Rob Smith. A fine fourth for Charlie Butler Henderson, clear of Lawrence Davey and Ben Spallock, and Harry Volkard in seventh. JCW runners then, Henry Dupree victorious from Hamish Brandon, Oka Lindstead, Neil Newstead and Kevin O'Connor. So podium time for Henry Dupree, and on to the top step of the rostrum. Handshakes and congratulations, and then an overjoyed Luke Caudle onto the top step of the podium. I think he thoroughly enjoyed that. A great performance from Caudle.
Luke, you were fourth and then you ended up first. Great race.
Yeah, a bit all over the place, that race. Definitely one of the best ones I've had in my career. We got up to the lead, got a bit of a tag from Phillips onto the loop, but that got the bit between my teeth and really made me pull it back. Got into the lead and just held it.
Good way to make up for yesterday, really. Didn't really have the result that I wanted, finishing fifth, so to come back today and stay at the front and get a second place is really good.
And I felt like I got a really good car under me. I'd got the pace to get by David, I think, but it all bunched up when William made a mistake and Charlie had a little nibble, and it felt like it bent something on the left rear corner, so just a case of bringing it home then.
Yeah, the start was just crazy. The you know, a couple of Gen 3s going all over the place, and yeah, just hit the brakes and managed to get through. And Jono just collected one of them, so yeah, his rad went, and from then on, you know, just trying to put in the quick laps, and then yeah, just maintaining it from there.
Back here now in second, I couldn't be happier. So it's yeah, for an action-packed start, it could have gone wrong for a lot of people. So luckily, I managed to keep out of the way of everything happening and bring it home.
All the race, I thought I was fourth. But then Jono had gone out of the lead, so was surprised when I got to the finish line that I was third. But super happy now.
A disastrous race for William Phillips. Let's hope he can pull it out the bag later on. But really good to see Luke Caudle back up on the podium. Do join us after the break when we will have the first of two races in the Cooper class from Rockingham.